This is Top Preps Player Interviews by Sunil Sunder. Tonight, I'm happy to be speaking with Tavery Chappell, a junior at Ray High School in Ray, Colorado, a defensive end on the varsity football team. Once again, Tavery, thank you so much for the opportunity. Great to be speaking with you. And, congrats on your success, again, playing football, for Ray High School.
Thank you. Mm.
No problem. Hey, let's talk about last season, 2023, and a terrific season for you, Tavery, and a winning year for the football team as well. Uh, what do it mean, just like in terms of having that again, that success, being able to dominate on the gridiron?
Wait, what was the question?
No, just asking about how you were able to dominate on the
Oh,
gridiron, just
um,
again, and just to see your hard work really paying off.
um, it's just coaches and other teammates that I can count on that let me be able to just go full range. Counting on my teammates and knowing that I like they're doing their jobs makes it a lot easier to do mine on the
Yeah, no,
field. And
definitely.
yeah,
Yeah. Definitely. Hey, I was just looking at some numbers online. I don't know if this, really lines up with you, but I saw 68 tackles. It said a bunch of tackles, nearly 12 for tackles for loss, almost 5 sacks. Named, I think, to the CHSAA Max Preps All State First Team. I mean,
yes, sir.
to earn those accolades, again, to be recognized, by your peers, by the coaches. I'm sure, again, was very fulfilling for you, Tavery.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Hey, just in terms of playing the defensive end position, and again, watching your film, uh, your flexibility, your durability, just in terms of being so versatile, you're able to dominate. And it's what's so great is that in terms of standing upright, at 6'3", 210, and just your explosiveness, your ability to get to the quarterback, register those sacks, but then of course make those tackles as well, whether it's on a running or a passing play. Just describe that as well, Tavery.
It's just like I was working with a speed trainer like all during the football season, so that really helped me
Hmm.
a lot. And just the like during the season you get all your like the feel for the game, and it makes it a lot easier to just know like in the reads and just feel it. It's just the feeling of the moment and knowing football
Hey,
makes it a lot easier.
yeah, there's so much that goes into it, Tavery, just in terms of the preparation. I mean, the practices, the lifts, watching film. I'm just wondering for you, just having that all pat down before you take the field, how critical that is for you, just in terms, I mean, as you alluded to before, the coaches play, again, a pivotal role in this, but just for you personally, being able to have that everything in place and fall in line. And then I'm sure once you take the field, everything just really does come naturally to you, during the course of a game.
Yes, sir. It's just like mental most of the time getting ready, and it's like for being a wrestler, it's a lot mental. Just knowing that like I can if I want to, and that like I've prepared for this game all week, and so have my like brothers that are playing the football field with me, and
Yeah.
it just yeah, it's just mostly mental. When I'm in the locker room, listening to music, and our coaches got like NFL highlights up on the board and all that stuff.
Mhm.
Definitely gets in the
Yeah.
mood. Yeah.
Hey, that's outstanding. Hey, I want you to take people behind the scenes. I mean, during the course of a game, what's transpiring just in terms of when you're lined up facing, I mean, across the line is the offensive lineman. And then once, that snap takes place, what is filtering through your mind? What is, just, I'm curious about that because I think a lot of people would be intrigued, to hear just what, again, you're experiencing at that singular moment.
For me, when I'm on the line lined up, is mainly just like what I'm gonna do. Like if
Hmm.
you like my moves that are in my head, or like if they come to my gap, like, and it's mainly just like the thing that could happen, like a whole scenario just playing in my head, and that just makes it a lot easier for them to actually happen, kind
Yeah.
of align with it. Yeah, it's and like especially like depending on what they have done, like the past couple of games, like whether I should like cut inside and be able to still keep my contain, or like whether I should stay outside and do another move. It just depends on the
Mhm.
game. Or like, yeah.
Yeah. as they say,
Yeah.
it's a team game. 11 guys, have to really be, you know, be cohesively and, just really, on the same page. What is it like, when you guys are in the defensive huddle and like, you're getting ready, for the play? I'm sure just to have everybody in sync that again, that's so crucial for you guys as well.
Yeah, it is. It's one of the biggest parts, especially because if there's one guy that just is messing up his job and everyone's not like being like yelling at him, but being like on his ass about it. And
Hmm.
that just kind of, it also just after a good play and everyone's back there and we're celebrating, it just keeps the momentum going,
Yeah.
keeps us all positive and it makes us make plays. And yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. Hey, let's just talk about getting ready for a season. Just in terms strength and conditioning, nutrition, rest and recovery. You talked about the mental part of the game because I think that, again, just being able to rely on that because everybody talks the physicality of football, but mentally you have to be sharp as well. What has been the perfect blueprint for you, Tavery, these first couple of years now?
Honestly, it would be just like my liking to work out. Like I work out for fun. Like my one of my hobbies is working out, lifting, and
Hmm.
I've been doing that for 3, 4 years now. And I think that is one of the like the most crucial part for me
Yeah.
was that. Yeah. So
And the fact that you're also have been a three-sport athlete, football, wrestling, track, uh, enjoying success, especially in those sports. How, I mean, have they, again, shaped you and just in terms of staying in, tip top, physical shape as well, and you know, preparing for the football season, all the rigors, the bumps and, bruises, the grind. I mean, it takes its toll, but I'm sure like, keeping active year round has again aided you as well.
yeah, I think the sport that has the most impact on everything else is wrestling, and I think that's just because like when you wrestle, it's so tough and it's all on you. Like it's very you take self accountability for like what work you're gonna do, like how well you're gonna do. If you don't work hard, you're
Mhm.
not gonna do well. And also, it's just like like the just how you wrestle just makes every other sport so much like easier, whether
Yeah.
it comes to like moving your body and like yeah, all that stuff.
That's good. Again, I'm glad you provided some of these stats. Second in the state championships, I think, at the heavyweight division. Fourth
Yes,
last year, 215 pounds. Tracked through the disc and shot at one place away from going to the state championships. Again,
yes, sir.
tremendous achievements. I'm sure that's something that, when you look back on, again, is very rewarding to see again how much effort and just the discipline that you put in, and again for it to, pay off, in that fashion.
Yeah, it is. It's just because I know that it's not just luck. Like I've been working for it, so it's starting to pay off, and it's really satisfying. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's great. And let's just talk about putting the pads on, the jersey, the uniform, that number 55 Eagles on the helmet. I'm wondering what that represents to you personally, Tavery.
For me, it's just representing like my school and like those coaches and my teammates that I've been working for. They're just not much random people. Like they're working just as hard as I am. It's like a mutual respect. Like they're going through the same thing I am. So that jersey is just what kind of brings us all together, and that helmet and all those like the Eagles is just that's us. Like that's our team.
Yeah.
So it's just yeah,
I'm
that's just who
wondering,
we are.
yeah, I'm wondering from day one, the time you were a freshman, and now
Yeah.
it must feel surreal because like you're coming up on your senior year. I mean, it's just I'm sure it's going by in a flash for you. I'm wondering, like, from that point, like that first time, you took the field, put the jersey on, and now being an upperclassman and being able to teach the underclassmen, and I'm sure you learned, it's coming full circle. You learned from the seniors, your freshman year, how satisfying that is now being able to pass that knowledge down to those underclassmen, to those freshmen and sophomores.
Yeah, it is super. It's super surreal because like when I was a freshman, we had a good team. We made
Hmm.
like semifinals runs and stuff, and
Yeah.
those kids were just like you look up to them, and to be like one of those people for the freshman now is just kind of yeah, it's just like trying to build them to be like a positive, like be positive towards them and like what
Yeah.
they're gonna be when we leave for our sport teams. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Hey, talk about this coaching staff. You know, I said Levy Cranberry, the head coach, assistant coach, and defensive coordinator Dustin Dunn, assistant coach, wide receivers, defensive line Brady Buck, and Nathan Welp, assistant coach, offensive line and linebackers. Uh, what have they meant just in terms of helping, just in terms of the progression and just building up your skill set, here in the first couple of years, and just again, this team having a winning record and being able to put their stamp, said on the program.
They all have their own role. It's like it's not just like there are coaches there. We have like
Hmm.
relationships with all those coaches, whether it's like fatherly, like
Yeah,
whatever it is, and
yeah.
they all do their own. Like, Brady Buck, he did all like teams and our team, and our defensive ends and linebacker coach is our strength coach as well in the summer. So we see him all the time, and
Hmm.
our head coach is our he's our what is he? He's our superintendent, so, we see him
Hmm.
all the time, and he'll sometimes pull us out and talk to us about stuff, and so we were seeing all of them all the time, and yeah, they're all around.
Yeah, it's fabulous to hear. And let's talk about playing home games at Ray High School, Friday night lights, Saturday afternoons during the fall. What are those moments for you? Just have that home crowd support, band, cheerleaders, the home folks, from the town, from the community, and then of course the high school as well, student section. What have those moments been like for you? How special are they for you personally here at Tavery?
They're, like, one of the most special things to feel just like you make a good play or, like, we're winning, to just feel a whole town, like, behind you is just
Hmm.
surreal, especially because 'cause we're a small town, it is the whole town. Like, it's not
Hmm.
just people from our school, it's our whole town that's there supporting us, and
Yeah.
a lot of the people we know, so when your name goes off and everyone cheers, it's just one of the best feelings ever.
Yeah, no, that's super. Hey, on the flip side, let's talk about those road games. It's a different animal environment because you're going into hostile territory. But what are those bus trips? You talk about the brotherhood, and these are relationships you're going to carry on well after you finish up high school football here at Ray High School. But what are those moments? I mean, just being able to I mean, those are again, you cherish those memories forever. But what have they been like the first couple of years here as well?
They're super special on the road because, depends on how far we're going. We're all just
Mhm.
talking and bonding on the bus, and we'll get off sometimes and we'll stop and we stretch and do all this. And it's
Yeah.
just like being with them all the time, knowing that you're both going the same place. And we get there and we're all preparing together in someone else's field. And it's all just strengthening each other and
Yeah.
the bond that we have from the bus rides and just being funny and laughing and stuff. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's awesome. That's great. As you know, Tavery, it's just not being an athlete, it's being a student athlete. 3.0 GPA. Talk about the time management and organization because there's so much that does go into playing athletics, especially football. Uh, what has worked out so well for you so effectively, just in terms of being able to balance out that role of a student athlete, because not everybody can measure up to that. It takes a lot of commitment, in terms of just being dedicated to that time. Again, what is for you has just been something that's just obviously, I said your grades are up there.
Um, it's just like it's just doing what like doing your due diligence, and when you're at school, do your work, or if you don't have like if you have homework, do your homework, and after practice, you don't really have anything else to do, so like you might
Hmm.
as well just do your work.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had like last year, so I didn't get to play football my sophomore year
Okay.
because I tore my meniscus, and I was
Okay.
out until like halfway through wrestling. So I didn't really like have an idea of what I wanted to do, and so my grades were not the best.
Hmm.
So that's why my GPA is a 3.8, 3.0
Yeah.
right now. Yeah.
Hey, I'm glad you brought that up about the injury because I think that's important to talk about. I mean, the fact that you're a high school athlete coming back from a serious injury, rehab, and just having to, make it back to being 100% and trying to be, an elite athlete, once again, talk about that because I think, not a lot of people, hear that, like, just in terms of that process. I mean, it's grueling, to come back from injuries, especially at the high school level.
Yeah, so I when I tore my knee, I was at a wrestling camp and
Okay.
it was like a 7-month recovery. I tore my
Yeah.
meniscus like almost off my bone. So
Hmm.
I had to sit through all of it during recovery and I had to like I tried to go watch my football games like my friends play and I couldn't. I'd have to leave because
Yeah.
it just make me so upset.
Yeah.
But when I got back during wrestling, I definitely had a chip on my shoulder and I worked like twice as hard and it's definitely put me where I am right now, knowing like just like
Yeah.
having that chip on my shoulder from not being able to perform my sophomore
Yeah.
year. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's spectacular. Hey, let's just go back to Ray High School, just in terms of the support from the student body, administration, athletic department as well. What have they meant to you, personally, and also to the football team as well?
They mean a lot. They're they kind of keep us we kind of keep each other all together and they keep us together, whether it's like they're telling us we're being stupid or we're telling each other we're being stupid when we do something dumb. We're just
Hmm.
kind of keeping each other in check. And I think that's just like one of the most important things, because we're still kids. We don't really know what we're doing, but other people see
Hmm.
it. So and
Yeah.
we're on each other. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure to hold each other accountable again is essential. Hey, you need a strong system in place in terms of your family. Talk about support from your parents. You have three siblings, an older brother who's 19, two younger sisters. One is 14, the other is 4. What have they meant to you along this journey? At Ray High School, and then especially playing football.
They've been one of the biggest. So my parents, when I'd start working out, and they they would buy me all sorts of food, and I would eat really good, and they never like it was never a bothersome buying me like my own food so that I could eat good and have a good
Hmm.
nutritious like, meals and stuff. And
Hmm.
my siblings are just like they're a big motivator because like they're watching like what I'm doing. What is my younger sisters, like I'm their
Hmm.
brother, and yeah, so it kind of yeah. It's a really good feeling.
Yeah, I'm
So,
sure. I
yeah.
mean, being setting an example and being a role model, I think that's that's important. Hey, just in terms of going back to the game of football, what are some of the intangibles that stand out about the game? You've been playing for a while. What makes the game so special? Whether it's maybe practices, uh, the games itself. I mean, what makes it so unique that you come back year after year here and play the sport here, Tavery?
It's like the bondage of the kids, like all of us together, knowing that we're all going through it together, and like that trust of just like the mutual respect as well. And there's just nothing better than like making a good play and just killing someone. Like there's nothing better. Like there's no more fulfilling like
Hmm.
feeling than that
Yeah,
to
yeah,
me. So I'll come back forever
that's
as long
great.
as I can.
Hey, let's talk about social media. It's vital. You've been able to implement that. Especially I mean, there are a number of them out there in terms of highlight videos, Huddle, X formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, but YouTube as well. How much has that played? How instrumental has that been in terms of, getting your name out there, showcasing your talent, through those, highlight videos and, just having coaches, colleges, take a look at you here.
It's a big motivator, but so I didn't really have a Twitter account until the very beginning, like not really the very beginning, but like middle of football. My coach talked to
Okay.
me about it. He's like, "What do you want to do?" And I said, "I want to play
Yeah.
football." So
Yeah.
I got my ex account, and yeah, and it's just seeing all those coaches that are interested in me, and like all the like recognition is a big motivator to just keep working and work harder for sure to just be even better than their like expectations of what I already am.
Yeah, it's wonderful to hear. As you mentioned, your hobbies about working out, playing video games, really be able to de-stress, kick back, just enjoy, like, I said, some free time because of all the, pressure from, academics and athletics. I'm wondering what those moments are like for you, Tavery, just being able to like clear your mind and just, it must be like a relief because like, again, you're just I mean, again with athletics, it's a year round, 24/7, 365, but being able to, at least have a couple of hobbies, I'm sure is, again, important to you.
Yeah, it's super big. Just like a good workout, it just resets everything, and it's also just like I know that I'm benefiting myself while I'm clearing my mind is a big
Mhm.
thing. It's the biggest thing, and just the ability to come home and relax is just it's a big thing after a long day. Because usually I don't get home till about like 9 because I got football practice and I'll go work out and all that
Mhm.
stuff. So it's a big thing to just come home and just relax and do all that stuff. So
Yeah,
yeah.
that's true. That's terrific. Hey, I'm wondering when it comes to whether it's college, NFL, especially, any players that you pay close attention to, especially on the defensive side of the ball, defensive end, try to take away some of me their tendencies and maybe, apply it to your game as well.
In the NFL, I really like to watch Nick Bosa because it's
Yeah.
just the things that he does is just like crazy to me. And just like I watch what he's doing and seeing like when he does it, and it's
Mhm.
like I just try and get that click in my head so that I can do the same things that he does, even though I'm not 240 pounds and I'm not like able
Yeah.
yeah,
Hey, you still have room here to gain weight and grow. I'm wondering
yeah.
where that growth spurt took place here at Tavery.
Most of the time it's after wrestling because during
Okay.
wrestling, I won't like cut, but it's just we're working hard all the time and we don't get to eat as much. I'm busy,
Yeah.
so during then I don't eat as much. But when I come back, I start eating like crazy, and I gain like 30 pounds after every wrestling season. Like it's
Okay.
pretty crazy, and
That's
it's
great.
because my
Yeah.
freshman year I wrestled 160, and then
Okay.
my sophomore year I wrestled 215.
Okay, so
So
so a major jump, from freshman, to sophomore year. Definitely, that's
yes.
great. Hey, before you get the final word and message here, Tavery, I'm wondering, in terms of the younger kids, athletes out there, because you were once, around that age, and we see so many kids playing athletics, especially football now. Uh, it's become so competitive now, and internet, social media, you factor into that. I'm just wondering, what message would you give to those younger kids out there if they were watching this, this interview, just in terms of trying to move up that ladder and try to find out what sport they're good at. And if it's football, just trying to, stay with it and, hopefully succeed in it.
Um, I think it's not really about being like good at the sport when you're
Mhm.
like younger. It's more about just how much you like the sport. If you like the
Yeah.
sport enough and like you make a good play, even if you don't know like it's not a good play and it still feels good and you just want more and you just like it, it's just like you're just gonna keep getting better and better, knowing that you love
Hmm.
the game rather than just worrying about if you're good or not, or like
Yeah.
seeing if you look like other people that are in the NFL when you're super young.
No.
So I think that enjoying the what you're doing is a lot more important than and working hard is a lot more important than most of the other stuff when you're that
Yeah.
young.
Yeah, sound advice. I think, well said there. Hey, Tavi, you get the following word and message here. For family, friends, teammates, and coaches at the administration athletic department at Ray High School, and then the community of Ray, Colorado. I, wanted to give you the floor. I'm sure there are a lot of people you want to thank here.
I would thank my coaches and my friends because my coach and my parents, of course, but my
Hmm.
coaches they're always pushing me and they're always talking to me about stuff, and they're never going to let me not be my full potential as well. They're always on my butt about like even if I'm doing good, they want me to be like perfect. So they're always gonna be on
Hmm.
my butt about something. Like they're never done harping, and my friends keep me in line whether it's mean or not. They're up my butt about it. So like
Hmm.
anything, so it's good. Just thank you to those people. Yeah.
That's great. Hey, Terry, just true honor and privilege being able to speak with you again. Congrats on your success. With playing football, wrestling. And, looking forward to seeing what you do in your senior year, especially on the varsity football team at Ray High School. I'm sure we're going to be hearing more about you. More accolades and achievements, and again with your stats, and again wishing you and the rest of the team all the best. Again here in the 2024 season.
Thank you so much. It was an honor. Thank you so much.
Thank you.